Alright, here we go, off to Mun. Check out the last video if you want to see how we got here. And on to the next little leg of our journey. The first thing I want to cover is F5, which will quick save for us. And I highly recommend quick save, quick load. A lot of folks don't know it's there, or a lot of folks think that it's not very macho to use it. It will help you figure out the game. F5, it is good. We are in orbit, and I don't have to do this again if I screw up. There's probably a lot of ways to get to Mun. I've got a pretty simple way. It's a very easy visual way. There's probably more fuel efficient ways to get there by calculating precise times and directions. But none of that worked for me when I was reading up on the game. What I did find out that works for getting there is to zoom out, and you click on it and you want to set it as a target. I already did, so yeah, you want to set it as a target. And then somewhere, anywhere along this line, ahead of you, you just click and you add a maneuver. And then we're going to speed up. This is our prograde indicator. We're just going to drag it. Alright, and anytime we see it collide there, oh, well, gosh, okay, sometimes that happens. Let's not do that, because that's not, gosh. Okay, well, anyway, you click somewhere on the line, and then you draw it out until you finally hit that yellow thing, and then voila, okay, we've hit it. Now you see this little white indicator here? Well, that little white indicator is where I'm going to be. The opposite little indicator, that's where my target's going to be. Now I know kind of where I have to drag this, and it's kind of tricky. Sometimes you accidentally grab the tools to change your maneuver. But anyway, you grab the circle here, and you just kind of move them around until they're near each other. And it doesn't always work quite that nice. Sometimes you'll get over here and they're just not quite together, and just kind of tug with speeding up and slowing down. And you basically just want it to pass it. That's going to be our perigee when we fly through here. So now that we've made that maneuver, notice the little blue indicator on my nav ball. That's where we want to point our nose. So we point over here, tap T, we get nice and snug there. Alright. And we are ready in 31 minutes. And it's kind of like a circular loading bar. And we're going to fast forward time and load our way around. Alright, half an hour later. Let's ignore this little guy. He's on a different mission. Alright, it's 30 seconds from the node. And I have heard that you generally want to start before the maneuver node. And that's generally what I do. But it's alright to start right about the maneuver node. 3 seconds. Yeah, it'll be fine. We're going to throttle up with the shift key. And this handy indicator shows how much speed we have to build up. Oh, staging, spacebar. This shows how much speed we have to build up to get our position, our orbit, just like we planned in our maneuver. So to build this little blue loop-de-loop all the way out to this green one, we need to essentially, oops, clicked docking, that happens to me all the time. We essentially just want to deplete this little bar here. And I usually zoom out here, right click on the node, get rid of it. Alright, now we're going to just want to speed up time again and get a little further out here. And with it, the periapsis is far away from Mun as this. It's not ideal for landing. So we're going to want to make a bit of a course correction anywhere in here. We're going to want to speed up. 150. Nope. 33. Yeah, let's not do the 33. 100. 100 will be fine. So now, same deal as before. We rotate our spacecraft to point at the blue indicator. Tap SAS. And we go to that point in time. Ooh, or way past it. It won't matter, watch. Accelerating. 30, I'm just looking to get it to about 100. Anything lower, yeah. Yeah, hey, check that out. What about that? That's fine. Alright, now we're going to quick save so we don't have any more disasters. And we're going to fast forward, but not too much fast forward. Here we go, here's Mun. And as you can see, I've already landed here a couple times in this campaign by my flags. Alright, we fly to the Periapse. And actually, alternatively, if you were flying into orbit and you wanted to go back down to Kerbin, you would do this same kind of deal, where you point at your retrograde vector and you fire your engine to slow down. Alright, we're going to do that over here. Alright, we're slowing down. Here, I'll show you what's going on with the spaceship. Yeah, we're probably right about. Alright, same deal as before. When these indicators go to switch, that's when we're circular. Oh, kill the engine, X. Alright. We are parked in an orbit that is pretty suitable for landing. I'm going to change it a bit though. I like to land from lower down. I like to land from about 80 kilometers. 88's fine. And to make it circular, what I will do is, or what I could have done, I'm not going to do it. What I could have done is fly over here and burn against my retrograde, or you can plot a maneuver if you feel more comfortable. Like you can do this, plot your maneuver. Actually, that's going to be fine. That looks like maybe a nice place to land. Gosh, since they redid the surface of Mun, which I love, by the way, it is a rugged place. Alright, 20 seconds. That'll be fine. I don't need to land anywhere exactly precise, so I'm just going to start burning. And when it strikes the ground, that's good enough for me. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, now we're going to fly in low and fast and at a funky angle. It's going to be great. Yeah, see, I almost accidentally clicked docking. Ooh. Continuing our descent. We've burned against our retrograde vector. We've basically plotted a collision course with the surface of Mun. And we're going to fast forward. I find the best place for most things to start slowing down is somewhere around 20,000 meters, 20 kilometers, which is what I'm about at right now after I fast forwarded. I'm going to put down my landing legs because there is no atmosphere here. Ooh, don't want the plane legs. There's no atmosphere here, so there's no problem with having my legs sticking out creating drag. Which I suppose landing you probably don't care anyway, but anyway. Yeah, we're close to 20, so we're going to start burning against our retrograde vector to slow down. What's our speed over the surface? 500 meters a second. This is going beautifully. And I'd like to point out, because people might be looking at the amount of fuel I have left, which isn't looking stellar at this point for Jebediah, that this thing isn't designed to pull back into a circular orbit around Kerbin. It's designed to make a suicide shot for the planet. And if and when you contact the planet, that's just fine. You can slow down with your wings and you can land with your parachute if there's no suitable ground. But I'm going to fast forward there, which is what I just did, and I'm going to angle back over to continue pointing at my retrograde vector. I'm actually just going to let this guy fall for quite a ways. When it starts to get over 200, I generally start to slow down. No real reason, just because I get paranoid. And essentially what you're going to want to do is just be giving it less and less thrust as we drop down closer to the surface. We can see little bits of rocks, and if you're curious why you don't see that, it's because you need to turn WIP whip on in your settings and reboot the game. You see how close we are to the ground, and everything's looking pretty good. See, our retrograde vector is pretty close to the top, which means we're falling straight down. Everything's looking pretty good. F5. I highly recommend it, because it's really easy, especially when you haven't landed here before, to screw up on this last little part. Your spaceship tips over or something. Just quick save. I mean, there's nothing wrong with quick save. Alright, we're getting pretty close to the ground. We're going a little fast, so I'm going to start giving it a lot of gas. Sorry about the G-forces there, bud. Alright. A nice, cushy landing on the moon. Coming in a little hot there, Jebediah. Alright, 12, 11, 10. Alright, and what I've been doing there is just shifting control. Oops, I gave it a little too much gas. Tap and shift and X right now. And fine. Alright. My airplane on the moon. Once again, F5. And here we are. It's time to do science.